and welcome to the June web off. First of all, I read these three, which are 7 Ways We Lie, Kissing Kate, and then for the billionth time, Openly Straight, which were for the LGBTQIA readathon. So I'm not going to talk about these in this video, but I uploaded a complete web up of these on Sunday, so I'm just going to leave that in the description down below. Alright, let's get started with the rest. The first book I read this month was Night Vale. I have the German version of this. I read this in I think 2 days and it was just so bizarre. Yeah, I think that's the word, bizarre. So it's about this city where basically everything weird is totally normal and everyone is just so... yeah, it's not like our world, let's just put it like that. It's also really amazingly written. There's so many moments where it really plays with the expectation of the reader. In that it kind of reminded me of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I laughed out loud so many times and it blew my mind so many times. I don't want to tell you too much about it because I think the best way to read this is without really knowing anything, because then it has this oh my god, what the hell effect, and I think that's the best quality of this. The story is kind of weird as well, but I don't think that's the most important aspect of this. So I would just recommend to read this and to just, yeah, just accept it. Then I read this one, which again is the German version. It's Schwarz and Silber by Paolo Giordani. So yeah, it's a translation of a translation, I guess. But yeah, this is about a couple who has this nanny for their child and kind of also a housekeeper, and she's dying from cancer. And the husband of the family kind of tells the story of how they met and how she's dying now and how their family is affected by it. The thing I noticed is that it was really difficult for me at times because of the time shifts. There's a lot of jumping around and that was kind of confusing. Other than that, the writing style is really wonderful. It helps to convey all the emotions and therefore it's also really sad. Then I read this one, which is The Muse by Jessie Burton. And I really like the cover, first of all. It's really pretty. This is kind of 2 stories in one. So we have this painting and we have the story of how it was made, how it was painted, and then 30 years later we have the story of how it was found again. And both stories are told from different characters, and both stories kind of intertwine with each other. It was really gripping, also because it was really like suspenseful. I would really recommend this to anyone who's into mysteries but doesn't like crime stories, because that's what it felt like to me. Like I don't like murder mysteries or something like this, but I still like this feeling of suspense and this feeling of, oh, there's something going on. And then the last book I read was this beauty. Just look at this. These are golden engravings and they're just so beautiful, so beautiful. It's shimmery and everything. So this is Ink by Alice Broadway. It's also the first part in a series. I think it's a trilogy. However, there's no like info on when the second part will be out. This is a society in which everything you do in your life and everything that makes you you get as a tattoo on your body, and then when you die they take your skin and make it into the book, which is kind of gross if you think about it too much. But if you just go with it, as I said, it's really beautiful. It follows this one girl whose dad just died, and now they are in this process where they where kind of the government, I guess, decides from his tattoos whether he's worthy of being a book. If not, then he's burned, which is also kind of cool. It felt like this society and this kind of idea was really well thought out. There are like really nice details and people and positions that are important to the society. I do have to say that there's a lot of repetition. Like there are sometimes sentences that feel like almost exactly the same, like a sentence that was like I don't know, 2 chapters before. I only saw 2 new films this month. First of all, The Accountant, which I basically only saw half of because I had to leave at some point because it was just so, yeah, kind of aggressive. And it made me really aggressive because it's so, it was really difficult to watch. I did enjoy the story itself, I did enjoy the character development. I also really liked the ending. It was kind of a surprise, but in a really clever way. But apart from that, yeah, it was really, really brutal. Then I saw Pirates of the Caribbean 5, and I've been waiting for this for what feels like years. Yeah, I guess you all know the deal about the 4th part, we don't talk about that. So yeah, in my opinion, the 5th part redeemed the 4th part and it was all worth it. The backstory was amazing. I loved seeing young Jack Sparrow, that was really nice. There are still some plot holes where it's okay, maybe not that thought out, and I do have to say it wasn't as like comedic as the first 3 parts. I also quite liked the new characters. I think they were well integrated. It worked, it really worked. It was also really nice to sit in a movie theater and watch Pirates of the Caribbean again. It's been such a long time and it was so nice. And yeah, Captain Jack Sparrow, as always, just lovely. I love this man so much. I also really like Barbossa in this one. I don't really have much to say about it because I mean it's Pirates of the Caribbean, you know how it works. It's just kind of stupid but in a nice, clever way. Stupid in a clever way. That doesn't sound real, but it is. That's how they work, that's how these films work, and it just, yeah, they did it again. And I love it. As per usual, please let me know what you read and watched in the comments down below. I always love to chat about it. And yeah, I hope you always have a reason to smile. And I shall see you next week. Goodbye!